Hi everyone, it's Farhandel, and welcome to this week's angel reading and angel forecast. I missed you last week, as most of you know. I was in the process of moving, and well, talk about major life changes and adjustments. But we are settling into our new place, and I have a spectacular view of Toronto from the 27th floor of this condo that we're in now. But what a lesson in detachment, because we had to downsize from a four-bedroom to a two-bedroom condo, and so you can imagine all the purging that took place and actually still is, because I don't have enough space for everything that I brought with me. But perhaps this is an opportunity time to discuss, what we're holding on to that we no longer need. And this was a good exercise for me to not just let go of physical items, but also negative belief systems, patterns, whatever it is that I'm so uh, used to having in my life that is just that. It's familiar, but is no longer required. So I went through a huge exercise in that. And this week also was an opportunity to reinvest in ourselves in terms of the way we feel about ourselves. And the angels wanted me to talk about being kind to yourself. And in this whole process of this move, I had to learn to be kind to myself as well, because I had to reflect on what it was that I was bringing with me that was not conducive to an act of self love. And so, holding on to unnecessary items, but also treating ourselves or carrying thoughts, feelings, and emotions that are detrimental to ourselves are all worthy of purging. And as the world right now seems to be in a place of frustration with some of the heaviness that's going on, I think there's this energy around us that, with the shootings and everything that's been happening, is like, how can we make a difference in this world? And the truth is, you can. You can start with simple kindness. And kindness can have a huge, huge impact on not just your life, but on everyone's life. So think about how it is that you're, in fact, being kindness to yourself, because whatever your external world is always going to be a reflection of your internal world. And so the best place to always start to change is not what's on the outside, but definitely with what's on the inside. So in what way are you able to be kind to yourself? Are you, for example, abusing yourself? Are you binge eating on carbs? Are you abusing alcohol? Are you overindulging in food, or spending copious amounts of time and energy with people that do not lift you up or serve you? All those are examples of things that you can change right now through just simple acts of self love. And so I'm going to encourage you today to begin each day with a form of an act of kindness, not only to yourself, but to one other person. And just think about what that'll do. If you are kind to yourself, you offer definitely a higher vibration. And then you do an act of kindness to a stranger or a relative for reason or no reason. And that person will go and then shift because of what you did, and perhaps pay it forward and carry that vibration through their relationships, their families, and their entire life. So that those simple things can just transmute all that fear energy. And it really begins with us. We don't have to go out and do a huge, huge transformation. We just have to start with these little things, and they can lead to great transformation. So I encourage you every day while you're out there shopping for the holidays, or you're in the grocery store, wherever it may be, or wherever life may take you, is to just do an act of kindness. And social media is a great place to do that. Okay? So that said, I'll start off with the angel reading. And if you picked up card number 1, this is the child card. Now, this card has several layers. In fact, the first thing that the angels are saying is that this is the time to reflect back on your own childhood and perhaps some of the emotions that are surfacing and the circumstances in your life that may seem chaotic, disgruntled. Perhaps you're in a relationship that's toxic. This may be a good time to reflect back on your own childhood and see what wounds or belief systems that don't serve you, that were imprinted in childhood, are now coming to the surface. So that's the first layer. The second one is that perhaps you're thinking about a new career, and it could involve working with children because you have a passion or a desire to work with children, and that's the second layer. And the third is that you really perhaps want to spend more time with your children right now. So if you have children, this is a good time, especially if we get busy with the holidays and all the things that need to get done before we take time off work, is to take some extra time throughout the day and spend some time with your children. And you'll notice at this particular time in your life that spending time with children will really shift and uplift us, because what it does is allow us to get really present. There's nothing that a child knows other than what's happening in this moment, and they're very focused on present things. They're not worried about the past. They're not necessarily worried about the future, and so we can learn a lot about being still and being present. And playing with children can be a form of meditation. It doesn't mean you have to sit in silence, but just pay attention and be present to what you're doing with your child at this time. And the fourth layer is pay attention to your own inner child. That your own inner child needs nurturing. Being kind to yourself is a form of self-love and nurturing. And this is a good time, if you pick card number 1, to focus on your own inner child. Maybe you need to play. You need to get out and just enjoy life. I know as soon as I'm done this reading, I'm about to get on a plane and go to Fort Lauderdale and have some playtime for myself. So the card number 2 is the Innocence card. And so if you're feeling guilt, if you're feeling anger, whatever it is that's heavy, that's weighing you down, you have divine support to help you. And your angels are more than willing to assist in alleviating you of all those heavy emotions. And if you're having difficulties with expressing it, or not sure exactly what you're feeling, talk to someone. Perhaps you want to call a friend. Maybe you want to write in your journal. And it's okay to not know what it is that you're feeling, but it's also important to be honest that you're not really sure what it is. But as you dialogue and you pay attention to helping alleviate those emotions, then things will start to surface. Instead of suppressing them, it's time to start expressing them. And know that your angels will assist you with that process. So you have divine support. And last but not least, the perfect timing card. And I believe we got this card in the last reading as well. So this is not the time to procrastinate. This is the time to act. There's no what we did yesterday or what we're going to do tomorrow. This is what we're going to do now. So if you need to pick up the phone, if you need to go out and fill out that resume, if you need to go and get that therapist, if you need to pick up that phone and talk to that friend, this is the time to start acting. There's always going to be a reason not to, but there's always going to be many more reasons to. So that said, if I can guide you in any way with a spiritual personal training session or your own personal angel reading, please feel free to contact me either here on Facebook or on my website at www.farhandala.com. The next time we'll be doing this reading, I'll be in Florida. I'm going to make sure that I try to get those cards out on time. I'm sorry for the delay this time, but we were just sorting out and getting our life together, as most of it was in boxes for the past week. That said, angel blessings. I love you all.